This is crazy. I'm back. I'm back. Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, I am Meg and I make a lot of videos about my comfort TV shows / movies. Welcome, I'm so happy to see you guys here. As you've noticed from the title, this is my official review of the new live action How to Train Your Dragon. Yippee! As you may or may have not known, I was invited to an exclusive screening. I got to see it earlier than everybody else in the UK, which was very, very exciting. I've written down some notes and we are just going to go through them one by one. This is going to be a very chill one today. Nothing too crazy. We're just going to talk about it and put your thoughts down in the comments because I am really interested to know what everyone else thinks. Amazing. So to get into it, I just want to say that out of 10, I would give this movie a 9.5. Like, it was so good. And from all the live actions that I've seen, I would say it's one of the best. They didn't change anything drastically. It was just, you could tell how much the creators love this movie. You can tell how much it means to them and it comes out beautifully. So a massive round of applause for that one. Well done, it was amazing. So to start off with all the positive thoughts I have for you guys. Visually, this movie is incredible. It's so beautiful. The CGI is amazing. There are a few moments where you're like, wow, they're low-key kind of real. Like, obviously they're not real. Like, I'm not dumb. Like, I do know I do know that dragons are not real, but there are a few moments where they're just almost too real that it makes you a bit sad. Like, obviously growing up I watched the original animation movie, so I already knew what was happening in this movie because it is just a remake of it. But like, I teared up. Like, your girl was bawling in front of a load of important people. It wasn't my finest moment, but it's fine. And like, oh god, this is like probably the most unprofessional video I've ever done in my entire life, but like, you can tell how much I love this and I can't hold back how much like I was obsessed with this. The romantic flight and test drive. Oh my god, I bawled like a baby. It was so good. I want to point out that I'm so happy that they didn't do it exactly the same as the original. I was saying this to I think it was my mum the other day. I was like, the animation is a little bit more childlike, a bit more humorous, a little bit better comedic timing with it, but the live action is a bit more mature. Like, I feel like it's grown up with its audience, which is why everyone's getting that nostalgic feeling when they go see it, because it's like, oh my god, I've grown up with these characters. They're a little bit more like mature. They're a little bit more emotional, I would say, rather than being more funny. And I think that really worked out in their favor. I feel like even like visually as well, it looks more mature. Obviously it's no longer animated, but just from looking at it, you can tell, like, I'm really bad at explaining things. I hope I'm making sense, but like, it's more mature, less childlike, which I think worked out really, really well. Now to move on to the music side of things. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. John Powell, who does the amazing music in this movie, has done it again. Before I watched this movie, they were saying how they changed a few bits in some of the scenes and they were a bit worried about it, a bit apprehensive, a bit like, oh, we don't know if this is going to work, like it's a risk. And it worked. I did really enjoy it. There's a little bit, I believe, in Test Drive that's different from, I don't want to spoil much because I don't want to be like, like, I don't want to like ruin that experience for you guys, especially if you're watching this video and you haven't seen it yet. But they do change a little bit in Test Drive. I personally think it really works well. I think, like, oh god, everything about Test Drive was incredible. I get shivers. I was teary-eyed. I was like crying. It was so magical. So magical. It felt like little Meg was sat there watching it again for the first time. It was honestly amazing. They smashed it. Every single score in that movie was beautiful. Like, I wouldn't change a thing about the music. It was amazing. So good. And to touch on the casting just for a little bit, they were amazing. They were actually so amazing. Every single person that was like a main character, they literally became, like, I know that's your job as an actor, but they were their character. I feel like they knew the true essence of that and they really ran with it, but they also made it their own. Like, for example, Mason was an amazing Hiccup. Like, he made Hiccup his own, and I think that's so beautiful, because when you watch it from the animation, that's Jay's Hiccup, and now we have Mason's Hiccup. It like lets you separate the two medias and go, they're both amazing. Like, because when you look at it as well, like, book Hiccup is not the same as the Hiccup in the movies. They're different. They're inspired by each other, but they're not the same, which is why Mason's is not the same. He made Hiccup his own, and it worked, and it was amazing. And same with Nico and Astrid. Nico gave Astrid a little bit more character in the first movie. Obviously, in the original animation, we don't get to see a lot of Astrid's character until, like, you watch Race to the Edge, where she has a little bit more personality. Whereas in this first movie, Nico made sure to give Astrid a little something, which again worked and was amazing. Like, even the twins and Snotlout, Fishlegs, they were all so amazing. You obviously can have your own opinion on it. I personally think they all did so amazing. I could see, like, the characters in them, which is what you want. It's just incredible. And of course, I cannot make a How to Train Your Dragon review without talking about Toothless. He was adorable, like, so cute, and I was so amazed at how they managed to make him, because obviously in the animation, he's very adorable. He's cute. He's got that scary side to him, but he's adorable. Like, the eyes and everything. They made him so cute in the live action. They actually did it, and I'm like, oh, but also, like, he's terrifying. And because I was lucky enough, when I went to the exclusive screening, they had one of the tail fins there that they used in the movie, I believe, or maybe it's just for reference. I'll put it here. He's huge. Like, he's massive. Like, I'm not average height. I'm like 5'1" or something. So I'm a small girl, but in, like, it's just, he's gonna be massive, which makes me like, yeah, he's cute, but if I was actually next to Toothless, I'd be terrified. Like, he's scary. He's huge. He's massive. But he's so adorable. The sounds, the way, oh god, everything. The romantic flight, Toothless. Oh my god. Amazing. Actually amazing. Just, I could go on and on about Toothless. He's obviously one of my favorites. I have many Toothless toys in my bed, but we won't go on about that right now. He is just so good. And I'm delighted to say they actually added a few extra bits into the live action. So I went into this thinking it was going to be like picture to picture, the exact same as the animation, and I would have been okay with that. I think that the animation has such a special place in a lot of people's hearts that they could have gotten away with that, but I'm actually so thankful that they added a little extra in there. And what they have done, okay, spoiler warning, even though I think some of you already know this, but spoiler warning just in case, We do get to know a little bit more about Snotlout. Not a lot though. I think I would have liked a little bit more. I feel like it kind of ended on a little bit, like it just ended quite abruptly. Like we didn't get much. Like it starts and then it kind of ends with like nothing. It's like, okay, cool. But it was really nice to see that dynamic between Snotlout and his dad. I would have liked a little bit more, but I think it was a really nice touch. And as well we had a little bit more of Astrid, which is what I was saying before, how Nico adds a little bit more personality to Astrid than what we get in Astrid in the first movie in the animation. We get to see a little bit more of Astrid and Hiccup's dynamic grow. We have a conversation with them. I won't speak too much about that until everyone's seen the movie, but that was a really nice touch. They just added a little bit more to Astrid, which, as a massive Astrid stan, I will always love Astrid, and I will literally fight till the ends of the earth to make sure that she's not getting hated on. If I ever see any Astrid hate comment, I am on that. I am on that like no one's seen before, honestly. But yeah, it was so lovely to see a different side to Astrid in this movie, and Nico handles her perfectly. I also just want to say quickly that with the romantic flight, the infamous flight that everyone was waiting to see, I think it was actually so beautiful. And I think I also want to point out really quickly, before I finish up, because otherwise I've been talking for way too long. Some people I've seen have had a few thoughts on this movie about how it's a little bit different to the original, and how, as I did as well, I had thoughts that it was going to be exactly the same. And I feel like Dean, who is the producer of How to Train Your Dragon, didn't want to do it exactly the same. It's kind of untouchable, and you don't want to do something new with it being exactly the same as the other, because what's the point, I guess? And I think he handled it. They took risks. In my opinion, they worked. Obviously, everyone has their own perspective of how they think it went. I personally think that it worked really, really well. But there are some, I think, from what I've seen of what people have been saying, that they're not happy with some of the ways that things have been popped in, or some things have been cut. I think it actually made sense to cut them. I don't know whether they were cut because of timing, or if it was cut because they just didn't think it worked in this setting. Like I said before, though, the animation's more childlike, whereas the live action's a little bit more mature, like the audience is. I would say the live action is for older audiences. If you want to show kids How to Train a Dragon, I'd probably go with the animation. But, you know, still take your kids to go see it. I mean, if I had kids, they'd be going with me, because that was such a staple of my childhood, and it's such an incredible movie that you'd want to take them to go see it in live action. But I'm just saying I think people need to have a little bit more of an open mind. It's not going to be exactly the same as the animation, and I think if it was, people probably still wouldn't be very happy with it. I mean, I'm not wrong. People still wouldn't have been, they'll be like, it's exactly the same. So you kind of, it's like they took a risk, and I'm happy for them. I think it worked out well. If you keep on seeing this light going down, it's because my laptop keeps on like glitching. Anyways, yeah, so it's not exactly the same, but I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I think that's all I have to say. I'm looking at my notes, and I think I've pointed out everything. Yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you to the Dean and all like the people who did the casting, obviously the cast, everyone that worked behind the scenes in this movie, because it really is gorgeous, and I 100% recommend, if you haven't seen it already, or you're a little bit on the fence about seeing it, to go see it. I think everyone has their own opinion, and don't let someone else that's given such a bad review like let that sway you. Personally, I think it was amazing. I think that everyone should be able to see it in all of its glory. I was very lucky enough that I got to see it in a Screen X, which is basically where you have like the main screen in front of you, and then you've got 2 screens to the side, so it's very immersive. I got to be able to see it like that, and I think that really added to it. I mean, the romantic flight was amazing, absolutely amazing. The first flight as well, test drive, amazing to see in Screen X. Also, you can see it in IMAX as well. It was filmed for IMAX, so you might as well go see it in an IMAX cinema. But yeah, I 100% recommend it. I believe it's worth the hype. Some people think otherwise. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. If you want more reviews, or if you want anything like reactions to movies or TV shows that you recommend me, let me know. But yeah, I'm hoping to post a little bit more on YouTube now that I'm, you know, free with more time. So if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye!